Hey friends, my name is Gabby Rosalie, and this is the Crucial Conversations podcast, a platform dedicated to self-fulfillment and breaking the cycle of wasted potential. Using the tools of perspective, knowledge, wisdom, and awareness, I, with the help of qualified expert guests, share free insight and proven strategies that lead to all forms of success. If you are ready to start investing in yourself and living the life of your dreams, because I promise it is possible for all of us, you came to the right place. Together, we will help each other level up and have the crucial conversations necessary to do so. How do I want to start this episode? I feel like I start the same exact way every time. So, and usually that looks like, hey, what's up, you guys? It's giving YouTube 2010. So instead of having an intro and feeling awkward as I speak into the microphone in my bedroom right now, we're going to jump right into the topic of conversation that's on my mind today. And that is the ability to be your authentic self without having to show up the same in every interaction or situation that you encounter. And I've been talking a lot about authenticity lately, and I have also learned a lot about authenticity lately. And it feels like the more that I talk about it, the more that it grows apparent to me what the actual definition and feeling of authentic expression is. So basically, this episode is going to be a little bit of a debrief about how I show up and about how many of you probably show up in relationship to other people and in different circumstances. The entire idea of this episode is really to highlight the fact that you can show up in different modes of your personality, in different relationships and in different environments and still be authentic. Because I think that there's this idea about authenticity that and being true to yourself that you have to be the same person wherever you go. And I disagree with that. So we're going to expound upon what I believe the true definition of authenticity is and what I have perceived as the most constructive form of authentic relating and behavior in my life and in the lives of many others that I've worked with. I just got back from the 100th year of the Port Huron to Mackinac race put on by Bayview Yacht Club. And I have been sailing with Bayview since last summer. I started racing on their Thursday night series, and my captain really took me under his wing. He invited me on a couple of overnights last year, and then this year was my first ever Mackinac race. And not only was it such an honor to be invited on that race, but it was so cool to experience my first Mackinac with my captain, who has told everyone that this is going to be his last Mackinac. So it was a great honor, and I learned so much, and I love the sea. I love being out on a sailboat. It's my favorite thing in the whole entire world. So the reason I bring that up is because when I was on that sailing trip, I was not my crazy, talkative, out there, really, really energetic version of me. I was a sponge, and I was an observer, and I took the back seat a lot of times because I was the noob on that race. I had so much to learn, and I knew that going into it, but it honestly, it blew my expectations out of the water as to what some of the members of my crew brought to the table and the wisdom that they had in the sport of sailing and in reading the wind and the water and charting and operating a boat. Like, there was so much that I have only been exposed to and scratched the surface of that I was not in a position to be the person who was like the center of attention or who was commanding the room all the time. And oftentimes, I'm going to be real, that is me because I'm a very high energy person and I love that part of my personality. But on this race, I don't want to say shy, but I was quieter. I listened a lot more than I talked. And I took in information without feeling like I had to contribute to the conversation. I took a back seat. And the thing about authenticity is that just because I was a little bit quieter, just because I wasn't as loud and captivating as I may be in other situations or with other people, does not mean that I was not showing up as my authentic self. Of course, I was high energy and I'm a happy-go-lucky, like little sailor girl. And I was overjoyed to be there. So grateful. And, I'm silly. I'm cracking jokes. I'm doing weird shit. But I was a sponge. And I had this conversation with a friend the other day that when you express different parts of your personality, it is therapeutic. Because I know that for me, I do not want to be the same person today that I was every single day in my past. There are so many components to my personality that I believe create my essence, that make me who I am. And not every single one of those parts of my personality are going to be able to be expressed all the time, all at once. I have a big personality. But that doesn't mean that I also am not shy in some environments, that I'm not quiet when I'm around certain types of people. And I think that the idea of being authentic is simply that you are able to express your state of being freely, no matter who you are with or where you are. But the fact of the matter is that that state of being is not going to be the same all of the time. And so this level of self-awareness that I believe acting as your authentic self requires is simply tapping in to your emotions, your feelings, your needs, your desires at any given moment, and allowing yourself the freedom, giving yourself the permission slip to express those things, those behaviors, those thoughts, those ideas, opinions freely. To express those personality traits freely without feeling like you need to alter yourself or your expression for the people that you are with. There is a healthy degree of reading the room that all of us need to calibrate to. And I think that that is like social awareness and it's self-awareness all in one. But what I mean about expressing freely is that you don't need to act in a certain way to be perceived by other people in a way that you believe is more favorable. Instead, what acting authentically truly means is expressing who you are without a concern about how you are being perceived. It's about not altering your state of being or your expression of that state of being in regards to how you're going to be perceived or how other people may view you or how the outside world may view you. And so on this sailing trip, like I said, I was a sponge. I was really quiet in the beginning and I slowly started to see other parts of my personality come out, like a little bit more high energy, silly, giggly, little, like I said, happy-go-lucky sailor girl come out as time went on and I got more comfortable with my crew. And so in a way, being around people for the first time, you might not let it all hang loose immediately. And I think that that is absolutely okay as well. But I still took on the opportunity to express the listener, to express the receiver, to express the observer components to my personality more than I chose to express the giver, the commander, the initiator components to my personality. Because the environment that I was in was not favorable for me to express those components to myself in my own opinion. That my state of being was not radiating those elements to my personality because it was not what I needed in that moment. And I was able to step into that side of my personality without fear of people perceiving me in any type of way. And sometimes in the past, when I used to feel like I wanted to be more of an observer, like I wanted to be more of a listener, I wanted to take more of a back seat, I wanted to kind of hang out, and I didn't want to be the center of attention. I would feel like, people weren't going to get a read on me as much as I wanted them to, or they weren't going to feel my energy in its entirety, and they weren't going to remember me as like the person that I believe that I am, which is this happy and, like I said, captivating person. But the thing is that I don't have to be that all the time to know that that is a part of who I am. And I think that that has been such a remarkable and pivotal point in my relationship with myself, is that I have allowed myself to simply be, no matter who I am around or what environment that I am in. And I do not have to force myself to express parts of my personality that don't feel natural, that don't feel right in that moment. And I think that carrying this out to other areas of my life, I can talk about how different parts of my personality shine when I'm with different friends that I have. I have a girl gang, and Angela, I'm shouting you out right now. Shannon, Mia, Riley. My girls are my girls. And when I'm with my girl gang, that I'm talking about Angela right now, okay? That's our group name. My girly side comes out. Like, those are my Sex in the City friends. We're going to get dressed up in comfy, cozy little like silk pajamas, and we're going to cook dinner, and we're going to eat cake with forks all around the coffee table, and we're going to drink wine, and we're going to laugh, and we're going to gossip. And it is one of my favorite things in the world. But I also have many other friends. I'm thinking about maybe my sailing crew that I have been to Bimini with a couple of times, and one of my best friends, Lauren, who lives aboard her vessel, and she introduced me to sailing, actually. She is like my vagabond explorer, just dirt all up underneath the fingernails and dirty feet and like just good vibes, does not give a damn about anything. And that is just as much me as my Sex in the City friends bring out in me. And I think that is the beauty of having different types of friends and having different types of people in your life, because you get to express different sides of who you are. And it doesn't mean that you're altering who you are. It just means that in that moment, you get to express, you get to experience the entirety of life and your personality. And of course, there are anchors to our personality. There are values and there are priorities that we have. And there are inherent qualities that not everyone shares with us, and that's what makes us unique. But the versatility and adaptability that I believe that I have that makes me so unique is that I have so many parts to me. And that's the beautiful thing. And you can't shine them all at once. And so I think that the beauty of versatility and diversity is that it creates this all-encompassing experience that contributes to more highs, also more lows, a wider range of emotions, which means sometimes more happiness, more joy, more giggles, but it also might mean more sadness, more tears, more et cetera, et cetera. And I think too that the environment, that also plays a big role. Like when I am confident and I feel like I am a leader in a certain area, I am ecstatic to take the driver's seat, take the wheel and really play the role of the leader, because that's something I'm very passionate about. I love leadership. I love mentorship. And I believe that I have a very unique ability to do so effectively and kindly and compassionately. But when I am in situations where I'm new, I'm fresh, just as all of us, I would assume, I don't want to be a leader, and I have to know when to step into the backseat, when to become an observer, when to be a listener, and allow that part of my personality to shine, because different environments bring out different sides of me. And that's how I believe that it should be. Different friends bring out different sides of me. Different moods bring out different sides of me. And the more that I allow myself to ride this ride and accept my state of being as it is, without trying to pigeonhole myself or force myself to come off in a certain way or highlight a part of my personality because I believe it's better than the other, the more radical and unconditional self-love that I cultivate for myself, which directly translates into the amount of radical and unconditional love that I have to give others. The more that we are able to embody our entirety, which means showing up as we are and expressing freely our state of being at any given moment and in any given environment, the more that we are able to meet others where they are at in any given environment or any given moment. Because I know that just as I have been talking about this entire episode, I'm not the same person every time that I show up in public or in relationship, I know that my friends and the people that I meet, whether they're strangers or people I've known for years, they are not the same person or people in every interaction and environment that they find themselves in. And that's okay. And it's beautiful. It's not just okay, it's beautiful. If I'm going to know you, I want to know many different versions of you. And I want to accept every part of you, every component to your personality, every state of your being. And I want you to accept mine as well. And the more that we practice this, the more that we issue a permission slip for others to do the same. And I really do believe that it unites us and it connects us on such a deeper level because we understand ourselves, and so we understand each other. Because you can only know someone as deeply as you know yourself. I have heard that time and time again, and I believe it more and more. The more that I realize that I am still continuing to get to know myself deeper and deeper and deeper every day in this life, which just means that I'm able to see others deeper and deeper and deeper because I've uncovered that layer to myself, and we're all connected. We're all one, baby. We're all one. What does that even mean? Well, that's a different topic for a different day. Anyways, I was just spitting. I was just spitting for a minute, and that felt really good. I told you guys that I wanted to show up more authentic and more just free on this platform because I've been trying to fit a brand and I've been trying to stick to a schedule of putting out episodes, and I wasn't really coming from the best energy in producing these episodes because I almost felt like I was trying to highlight parts of my personality that weren't natural at the time. Or, in this chapter of my life, I look a little bit different than I did in the last one, and that I probably will in the next one. And right now, I am embracing that. So if I leave y'all with any tidbit of advice today, let it be that, God, what? Let it be that you are allowed to express different parts of your personality in different environments and in different relationships while still showing up as your authentic self. All that it requires is for you to go inward and ask yourself how you're feeling in a situation, in an interaction, and what state of being you currently are residing in, and expressing that without fear of the way that it's perceived. It's by allowing yourself to be as you are at any given moment and releasing this attachment to your identity that we have tied up in our personality because we define ourselves with 3 to 4 adjectives like, oh yeah, I'm determined, I'm devoted, I'm loud, I am charismatic. Okay, well, you're so many other things. I am so many other things. So allow yourself to be everything that you are, which means not being all at once the same things all the time. Also, I'm kind of vibing with these shorter episodes. I think this might be the wave I'm riding for a little bit. I would love to hear what you guys think about this duration of episode time. I feel like they're easier to listen to, and they're shorter and quicker and to the point, and you can kind of digest the information on a level that's not like overwhelming. So let me know what you guys think. And I know it's in my outro, but follow me on Instagram at Gabby Rosalie Co. because I post a lot on there, and right now I am in my community era. Like, I want to build community, and I've got a lot of things cooking that I'm super excited about, and so I want you guys to be able to see all those updates, and I want to be able to connect with y'all. So follow me on Instagram, send me an email. It's in my bio in my Instagram. If you want to partner, if you got a podcast and you want to collab, slide in my DMs and I just might slide back. You feel me? Thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you next time on the Crucial Conversations podcast. Hey, y'all. Before you head out, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for listening to this episode, and most importantly, thank you for making the conscious decision to invest in yourself and expand your mind. By doing so, you are helping to elevate us all to live better lives. By showing up and emulating the things that you learned in today's crucial conversation, you are inspiring those around you. If you want to continue this domino effect, share this episode with someone that you want to help to unlock their maximum potential. And connect with me on Instagram at Gabby Rosalie Co. to share your valuable feedback and offer recommendations for what you'd like to hear in future episodes. I love you all. Keep shining your unique lights, and I will see you next time on the Crucial Conversations podcast.